Don't use tires and wheels, where the customer is always number one. So when life's throwing you a number two, just remember, Dunk's Tires and Wheels, because we'll be here for you. We sell used custom wheels and tires and do plug and patch repair. We have all tread styles and sizes in stock. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5, and on call for emergencies. Call 270-963-6391. Don't use tires and wheels, where the customer is always number one.
Ladies, all the latest trendy boutique styles are waiting for you at Magnolia 2 Boutique in Hopkinsville. We have an amazing selection of apparel that celebrates women of all ages, sizes, and styles. You'll love our jewelry, accessories, and handbags, including our new Bed Stew collection. And we have entire rooms dedicated to curvy size styles and shoes. Our selection and prices cannot be beat, and we can't wait to see you. You'll find us at 5120 Princeton Road, Hopkinsville, or shop with us online at Magnolia2, that's TOO.com.
Bid high, bid early, and bid often. The annual Princeton Optimist Radio Auction is starting next Monday here at WPKY. If you have an item or a service you'd like to donate, contact any member of the Princeton Optimist Club or the Kiwanis Club to donate. And remember to get ready to bid. The auction's on the air each weeknight next week, right after the 5 o'clock news. You can listen at 1580 103.3 WPKY, online at WPKYonline.com, or on your free WPKY app.
1580 103.3 WPKY. Test and Tie and Coffee Talk this morning. And one of our favorites here, because she always lets us know what's going on with the kids. And we absolutely love that. Miss Rhonda Jewell from the Caldwell County Extension Office in 4-H and everything else under the sun. You're just a busy woman.
I try to stay busy. Right.
So, we just got through seeing some stuff on community calendar that the 4-H is doing. So what do we got going on? We're always excited for that.
Well, the big thing today is camp registration starts today. Applications are available at the Extension office. All of the elementary students should have gotten it in their Tuesday folder, but you can come by the Extension office if you'd like to pre-register. The cost is $210, and it's $50 for deposit to hold their bed or to get them signed up. I would say sign up quickly. Don't wait, because I know my spots are going to go quickly, and it is going to get a little competitive. So, sign up as quickly as you can. And camp, if we do camp with Lion Trigg, Livingston, Hancock, and Logan counties.
Oh, wow.
We camp June the 2nd through the 5th. I guess I should give this important information, shouldn't I? June the 2nd through the 5th, we camp at West Kentucky again, which is just in Dawson, and it's an awesome camp. It's been, over the last, I'd say, 10 years, has made tremendous strides, and it's very competitive with other camps. But I love camp just because of the opportunity. It's hard. It's probably one of the hardest things that I do, and we plan all year long. But just knowing and just seeing the looks on some of those kids' faces, and to know that they're really getting some summer. They are having an opportunity to do some things that they they just don't have the opportunity at home. They're responsible for younger brothers or sisters, or they, some of my younger or older teens, they even work. So it's just it is a good way to meet different people, learn some new things, and have some good summer fun.
Used to camp was like everybody went to some kind of camp, and that's not the truth anymore. But I'll tell you, busy. The fact that 4-H camp is covered up with kids wanting to get in is a good sign.
It is a good sign. And we have limited space, and I hate that. And hopefully some more space will free up. The space is fine, but I also have to have volunteers. I'm the only one that actually gets paid to go to camp. Everybody else is a volunteer, and I've got people that take their vacations so they can go to 4-H camp. I've got people, kids that, they make sure that they don't get a job, that they are not going to be able to go to 4-H camp. So it is, we have to have those volunteers. We have to have a 1-to-8 ratio, and it's it's just important that we have some good, reliable volunteers also. If anybody is interested in going to camp as a volunteer, the 4-H Council does pay half their child's camp fee, so it would only $105. Plus, it's a good time to bond. It's a good time to kind of get in touch with with kids today, because a lot of times, even though you may not have a child, some of the younger ones, you just kind of your eyes are opened, even if you have kids. So, but it is a good bonding time and a good opportunity to, some of my adults go because they just love camp and they didn't get to go as a child, and they go as much as they can. So.
Big kid camp.
Yes,
that's what that is. But the camps, 4-H camp has really tried to encompass and include every kid. Of every, every. It's special needs for one thing. That's where I was going with that. They even include special needs. They're not excluded whatsoever, and I think that's fantastic that they have gone out of their way to make sure that all of the kids are included if they want to go.
Yes, we are very inclusive and do whatever we can to make sure that everybody has a quality camping experience.
Rhonda, you were talking about spots going fast. What is maximum capacity of the camp?
It has increased over the last couple of years, but it's like 458 comes to mind.
Okay, so you're looking at 450 kids, and that's going to, in the 1-to-8 ratio. I mean, it takes some volunteers to have that 1-to-8 ratio, doesn't it?
It does.
So, and that encompasses that 450, all those counties you were talking about.
And again, that's campers as well as teens and adults.
Okay.
So, that includes them also.
And the great thing, Tess, is too, if there are some that are having trouble with the deposit and the fee, there are scholarships available, aren't there, Rhonda? Tell us about that.
We do. We have scholarships that we offer. Several of the civic organizations donate money. We get also donations from the Cope and Hope Center, and we do have some private people not private people. We do have some individuals that give donations also, but we do have a fund, and it's a scholarship fund where we help those that can't go to camp. And I tell my kids, especially the elementary kids, if you want to go to camp, where there's a will, there's a way. Have your mom call me. Well, we'll make sure that they get the paperwork. I don't pass the scholarship out freely, but I do want people to know that it is there and it's available. Can't guarantee how much they're going to get. It depends on how many apply as well as how much money we have. But we do try to make sure that those kids that really need to get to camp go to camp.
That's one of the things I will say about this area, and we were talking about that yesterday. That's our community really does kind of make sure that if these kids want to do something and they need, they want to find a way, they're going to help them. But that goes back to a lot of the fundraisers and that sort of thing that you have that makes those scholarships available.
Exactly. We're having a breakfast next Saturday morning. It's going to be at the Extension office. It's a country ham breakfast. This is a ham that's been cured by 4-H'ers. It's going to be from 6 to 10 in the morning, and this is basically a fundraiser for camp. However, it's a little bit different. Camp, it cost us about $250 to send a child to camp. We are charging $210, so we've got to come up with that extra $40 somehow, some way. We did the calendar sales, and we're also doing a breakfast. And this is it doesn't cost anything. It's just donations only. But whatever those donations are, we'll put in that pot. But we don't want to charge ourselves out of business, and we try to help as much as we can. We didn't raise the price from where. And again, this is one of the ways that we help to fill that pot of extra need. And when we fill that pot, that money that we have left over does go to scholarships.
And don't get me wrong, country ham sounds awfully good to me. Mm-hmm. In fact, my dad called me and asked me to make sure about that date and that sort of thing. He's already invited my son. I'm coming too, whether they like it or not. But it doesn't stop with country ham, though. You have other things as well, right?
Oh yeah, we do. You mean as far as the menu goes?
Mm-hmm. She's wanting to hear the goods.
Oh yeah.
We have country ham, pancakes, sausage, biscuits, gravy. Biscuits and gravy is a big thing.
Yeah.
And it's Candy Adams' gravy that she raised over. I don't eat it. So Candy's doing the gravy.
I bet she can do gravy.
Eggs, sausage, pancakes, and drinks. Just
well, there's something for everybody, because some kids say, I don't like gravy, but I really like pancakes. Well, okay, we can hook you up.
Yep. So
okay.
Come out and get the works.
Well, it's a good day to start a Saturday off, too. You
is.
do something great, get off that hearty breakfast, and then get on to your routine, whatever you got going, whether you're running errands around town or just heading out of town.
Or going to LVL and hiking.
Yeah, it's going to, hopefully, it sounds like it's going to be great.
Like, if we got this much, it would really just kind of seal it up for us and make it easy.
Not really. Like say 700. That's what we would like to get.
I like to throw those out there because
Sure,
that's a
why
good
not?
challenge for the community. You know, if $700 is what would really make it, where you can breathe a little easier and 4-H can move a little smoother, then that.
Well, it helps all the campers, not necessarily just a few, but it helps all the campers.
That's
it helps,
fantastic.
helps their parents pay. So
Okay, and again, that's this Saturday, right?
next Saturday.
14th.
Or
March
next
the
Saturday,
14th.
rather.
Yeah, March
You're
the
going,
14th.
Tess, so come on, get it on your calendar.
March the 14th.
My dad will be there honking in the driveway. Going,
Don't let them leave you.
And again, it's from 6 to 10 o'clock.
Well, that sounds good. What else you got going on?
It is March, and March is a busy time. We have our shooting sports orientation, our safety meetings. Shooting sports is an opportunity for kids to learn gun safety, to have a chance to meet some different people and learn a skill. It's also, they learn self-discipline, and it's a wonderful, wonderful experience, especially if kids are going to be hunting, or if they're going to be shooting. These guys, they train them the right way. So,
Well, and if there's guns in the household,
Yes.
even if you don't expect to take that child hunting with them, if you have guns in the household, it's a good idea to
It is.
teach that kid
It
what
is.
to do, what not to do, what happens when you do. I mean, these kind of training sessions are wonderful for that.
and all of our leaders are certified volunteers. The orientations are March the 10th and the 17th at the Research Center. That's basically what they're learning about. This is livestock judging is it's educational for one thing. It's very hands-on. It's teaches kids to learn to think for themselves. It teaches them communication skills. They have wonderful leaders that make it fun for them.
I started to say, I'm going to tell you, it's fun.
These kids, and I don't know, these kids will go in after school and they'll sit for an hour and a half and they'll look at pictures, and they'll, Kevin will guide them and show them, and they'll kind of learn from that. So, they sit all day long, and then they come and they sit for an hour and a half, and sometimes they have to be in the classroom, but a lot of times they are outside also. So they take the good with the bad, but they give it 100%. So.
Well, and that kind of prepares them, too, for FFA and that sort of thing.
It does.
Because, that's where you really can get competitive, college level even in livestock
you can
judging.
4-H also. Yes, it's basically a building process. Now, a lot of our kids, we don't want our kids to grow away from 4-H and grow into FFA. We want them to get the best of both
the skillathon.
organizations.
Wasn't that part of it, too?
Yes. That's basically... we decided a couple of years ago, we had done it years and years ago, but we didn't have a coach, because Skillathon's a lot different and a lot more in time and a lot more in depth than just livestock judging. And so I asked Lisa if she wanted to be a Skillathon coach, and she said sure. And so that's just kind of evolved from that. But they, and I think Lisa really enjoys it also. But they work very, very hard. And Skillathon also helps them. It helps in other areas of livestock judging. So,
Sure.
And it gives them other connections, and it just they're learning greater skills. So.
I'll tell you, I think it was. I've got better memories of that. That's some of my biggest memories back in the day, being involved in the livestock judging. So I think they'll have a great time.
And we're blessed around here. Kevin Laurent and I think Candy Adams is still involved. We've got some great, all our 4-H volunteers are wonderful. But boy, we're really blessed here with our UK Research and Education Center, having professors and doctors and PhDs out there that study this stuff and do it for a living, and then can give that back to our kids. Unbelievable.
We are very blessed to have Kevin as a coach, because we have such a resource. I don't think the kids really understand that, but we do, and we're just grateful for him and all the other. We have a lot of parent volunteers. We couldn't do it without the volunteers.
Do want to stress again, you don't have to have large animals in your backyard.
You don't
have to live on a farm. You don't have to any of that. Because I know back in the day they thought, well, to be doing a lot of that stuff, you have to have a big farm. Not anymore. That's not the way that it is.
And we do have some that show. Really would like to build our showing program up. Kevin's son, Daniel, he shows pigs. The Cottons show pigs, Evan and Eli. The Trimbles show pigs also, Katie and Bradley. Then Lakin White also shows goats. And so we have a few, but we really like to have more, give more an opportunity. And so anyway, if anybody's interested that's out there and interested in showing, just give me a call and we'll get it going. Now we are possibly going to start doing some chickens and rabbits. So anyway,
Right.
that's our poultry club's really taken off and wanting to do some things. So anyway.
That's really
fun.
cool. Yeah.
That's fun.
I'm going to go on, though, because I've got a little more things to talk about.
Yes.
The list goes on. Spring Muster comes up March the 16th, and this is our Early American Heritage program, where it's basically a field trip for anybody that wants to, if you like history. I know Crittenden County sends a whole class. They bring a whole busload. It is very educational. They get to learn things like cook over an open fire, learn the dances and the songs that they used or that they danced to back then. Also learn how to throw a cannon, shoot a musket, get to march like the artillery did in the American Revolution. It's just really cool. It's a really fun hands-on day. Registration for that, I believe, ends this Friday. It is $6, and that covers their lunch. And transportation will be provided up to a certain amount because only so many will fit in the van.
Where is Spring Muster?
It is at 4-H camp.
It is at 4-H camp.
Yes.
Okay.
And again, that's the 16th, and that's a Monday. And that is a school day. However, it is considered a field trip.
So it's an excused
yes, and
absence.
I'll take care of all that. So if anybody's interested, call for more information. And on to a few more things. Country Ham. We go this Saturday to rinse, shape, and get ready to smoke our country hams. This is a messy day. It's a fun day. But anyway, the kids have an opportunity to really get dirty in this one.
Right.
Get nasty, but it is a fun one. Then we won't go back until July, and then we'll pick our hams out for the fair.
So tell me just a little bit while you're here about the rinsing and the shaping, because I've never done it. So
Okay.
tell me a little bit what they're doing when they're doing that.
They put the hams, they get their hams, and they just lay them on a rack, and it's open rack, so the water will go through it. And they get the water hose, and they just spray it just like you would, spraying something off your driveway.
Any water
They
go
spray it.
over to somebody else sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wondered about
Yeah.
that.
We wear raincoats and boots and
Yeah.
everything because it gets really nasty.
I bet it does.
I bet it does.
And the kids have fun.
Yeah.
But they rinse all the salt off,
Uh-huh.
and then they take it over to the table and they shape it because the hams have been packed on top of one another.
Okay.
So we have several different counties. They've been packed on top of one another. So they're kind of flat. You don't want a flat ham. You want a round
So you
ham.
kinda squeeze
Pearl
it up
shape.
together.
Yes. You want it
Nice.
not pearl shape. A rounded shape.
Yeah.
Egg.
I want to give it some. Yeah, there's a word and I can't think of what it is, but anyway, it's rounded. Try to get some of the wrinkles out,
Uh-huh.
if so, and then they hang. We put them on a hanger, and they go into the smoke room, smokehouse, whatever they call it. They're smoked for several months.
Wow.
So, and then when they come out, they're smelling mighty good
Oh yeah.
and looking good too. I must say, they
Country
look,
Ham
look
Breakfast
good.
2021. We're
Yes.
preparing.
There you go.
Yes, exactly. But anyway, we are finishing that up this weekend. Also, something that's really kind of big. Just talked to had a meeting with my teen council. I'm sure everybody's aware of the the tornado
Right.
that hit Nashville the night before, and we just wanted to do something to help. And so we've connected with some of the collegiate 4-H at UT Martin. I've got a connection there, and I sent Justin a message, and I said, how can we help? What can we do? And there's a young lady who is in his collegiate 4-H program who's from Nashville. Her family lost everything. And,
Wow.
sorry.
No, that's fine. Tragic down there.
It is. We're going to be collecting personal care items for the next 2 weeks. We have different locations. We'll have drop-off boxes. We're still kind of working on that, but we do know that we're going to have it at the extension office, hopefully the courthouse. Again, we've got to work it. We have just started the details, but it's going to have to go quick. But we're going to be collecting soap, shampoo, baby wipes, just personal care items, these things that these people are going to need for a long time. It's going to end on March the 18th. And if you like to know more information, just give me a call. Again, I will let y'all know. I'll send y'all a flyer as soon as I get it finished. I will also put it on Facebook and Instagram and promote it that way. And anyway, but we're really excited. We just, it's we need to do what we can to help.
Of course.
Well, we teach our kids to help, and we teach our kids to reach out a hand.
Yes.
So when it's time to do that,
And this is a need. And us an extension, a lot of times when something happens, we help our extension families in other states.
Sure.
So,
I think that's amazing.
That
That's
is
a great
great,
lesson
yeah.
to be teaching the kids,
Yes.
too.
No
Yep.
doubt.
Yep, it is.
Well, fantastic.
As a matter of fact, I got a message from one of the kids yesterday. What can we do to help? And that's what kind of set the ball.
And you didn't facilitate
No,
that. They just
no.
did it on their
No,
own.
right.
Yeah.
I think, you know what? I think when you teach kids early to be that person, it's pretty special when they can remind you, look, this is what you taught me. And I think that's awesome.
Yep,
Good
I
job,
agree.
Rhonda.
We'll definitely help you with that endeavor and all these other
Okay.
ones. That's what we're here for. We're so thankful for what you do with our kids in our community. A lot of things going on with 4-H, and you can call Rhonda Jewell, our 4-H extension agent, out at the extension office, 365-2787. She'll give you the scoop, and of course, if you want to go to camp, definitely get in touch with her. Those are going to be filling up fast. Those
If you want to
camp spots.
volunteer at camp, she'll take
Yes.
you.
Exactly. Please talk to me, and I'll tell you. There's a little process, but we are accepting volunteers.
And don't forget, next Saturday is their country ham breakfast, and that's when they're taking the donations, and that's where the scholarship money comes from for these kids to go to camp, right?
Part of it, and then the Optimist Club is very generous, and a lot of the other organizations, and like I said, individuals.
I think we can hit a $700 goal. I think we can do that in this.
Let's do it.
Hey,
So-
8:30. Stick around. We
Thank
got
you.
more to
Thank
come.
y'all.
Coffee Talk with Tess and Ty in 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors & More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors & More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Brands like Mannington, Shaw, Tarkett, Beaulieu, and Flexitech. Quality brands, excellent customer service, combined with 40 years experience is why they say you can walk on our reputation. See Bill and Lucy at Perry's Floors & More, 127 West Market Street, Princeton.
This is Mallory Hancock Lawrence, and we love our Caldwell and Line County friends. We invite you to come to Cada's anytime you can to shop with us. We're making it even easier for you. Whether you work in Cada's or just come to town for a visit, stop in and shop with us. But if you're in a hurry, you can pre-order your groceries at Hancock'sNeighborhoodMarket.com. It's so easy and convenient. Of course, we want to see your smiling face anytime we can, but if you're in a hurry, Hancock'sNeighborhoodMarket.com is the way to go. Hancock's Neighborhood Market, Cada's.
Hey guys, Heidi with Capitol Cinemas, your local Princeton movie theater with your weekday lineup. In Cinema 1, The Invisible Man, rated R. In Cinema 2, Sonic the Hedgehog, PG. And in Cinema 3, Little Women, PG. All three movies show Monday through Thursday at 6:30. Call during showtime hours at 270-365-0200 or visit us at capitalcinemas.net. Thanks for listening. See you at the show.
This Thursday is the first Thursday music series at Adams Breezy Hill Farm Restaurant in Mercantile. Enjoy fabulous food, great fellowship, and fantastic music featuring Sean Mestan and Carl Woodall from 6 to 8 p.m. Make plans to join them. For reservations, call 270-365-1234. There's nothing better than a great meal, great atmosphere, and great music. You'll find it all at Adams Breezy Hill Farm Restaurant this Thursday for the first Thursday night music series. Adams Breezy Hill Farm Restaurant, 1222 Cadiz Road, Princeton, Kentucky.
And here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast for today. Partly cloudy, high 62. Doesn't that sunshine look great out there? Cloudy overnight tonight, low down to 38, with sunshine back for tomorrow. About a carbon copy of today. 61 for our high tomorrow. Sunny on Friday, a little bit cooler, high 49, and then back to mid-50s on Saturday under sunny skies, a high 54. But enjoy that sunshine today. May see a few little clouds, nothing to worry about. High today of 62. Currently clear, beautiful sunny skies, 53 at WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Jeff Russo, attorney at law.
1580 103.3 WPKY, Tess and Ty. And Roger, and I'll tell you, during this time of year, it seems like there's always flu viruses and all that good stuff. And I contacted Dr. Luna and I said, you know what? There are some things that people are saying in social media. And again, it's just settle down, right? Dr. Travis Luna.
Exactly.
If
Information
anybody
is
can tell
your
us, it's
best
him.
friend.
That's right. And of course, Ty, we had talked about before, we've had the people docs in, and we've talked about the coronavirus. And then they have talked about how that it started from animals and that sort of thing. And, some of the other ones did anyway. And so how does that happen? How do they make that jump?
So there's a lot about those viruses that we really don't know. And the one that's making the news right now, the COVID-19, they don't really know if it's coming from bats or whatnot. So there's a lot of information out there. Flu viruses, coronaviruses in themselves, just the way that they're structured, most of these viruses are RNA viruses. They mutate very rapidly. Flu viruses jump from pigs to humans, kind of back and forth. So there's a lot that we really don't know. But those abilities of those viruses to genetically mutate are what make them so infectious, potentially deadly, and obviously cause us great problems. So there's a lot left to be learned about this particular coronavirus. But in general, coronaviruses, at least in pets, from my aspect, dogs, cats, horses, cattle, they're pretty mild GI respiratory diseases, and sometimes they mutate in those species as well. But for the most part, they kind of stick to their own species. And just before I came on the air here, I kind of checked with the American Veterinary Medical Association, kind of puts out statements because obviously, veterinarians are on the front line of these human diseases as well. And as of this moment, there's no documented cases of this particular COVID-19 spreading amongst the companion animal population and back and forth to humans.
You mean like a dog or a cat or something that we would community have in the house? Yeah, that domestic animals we would have in the house.
That's correct. Yeah. So there's no documented cases that you're going to be picking that up. I think back on February 27th, they had a dog in Hong Kong that tested a week positive. That dog's owner was also positive for COVID-19. They subsequently tested that dog a second time. Again, it was weak positive, but this particular dog is not showing any signs whatsoever. They have it in quarantine and isolation as a precaution, but other than that, there's no reason for panic when it comes to us worrying about our pets spreading this particular virus.
Well, and it's this is even if your dog did get it from you, it's not the first time that our animals have caught something from us. I mean, horses. Those are just one off the top of my head that I know that we can get similar viruses, like even strep throat.
There's no documented cases of us getting strep throat from horses. Now, horses can get things like strangles, that's just going to be with horses. Obviously, you always worry about rabies. That's a big zoonotic. So when we say zoonotic, that means an animal disease that's transmissible to humans. And there's still a lot about flu viruses in animals that we don't know. But for the most part, like I was stating earlier, most diseases of particular, horses, dogs, cats, etc., are going to stick within those species. And it's not very often that they transmit back and forth, except for things like flu virus, which is certainly a possibility.
Now, you do want to make sure if because this is also, a lot of us are hitting trails now. Mm-hmm. And it's warm enough. We've got sunshine. We're going to put them in the trailer. We're going to hit the trail with them. And we forget to get our Coggins papers redone, mm-hmm. or we don't think about the fact that, if I take them to a community trough, around a whole bunch of horses that I don't know, and I might want to take my own buckets, because a lot of times that can actually be more harmful, can it, than a lot of the other things?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, anytime you have a congregation or a big gathering, whether it's, dogs at a dog show or a shelter, same thing with cats or horses, your unvaccinated populations are going to be most susceptible, and of course that's where disease likes to hang out. So obviously doing those spring, fall vaccines, whether it's for horses, dogs, cats, whatever it is, you definitely want to have your vaccines up to date, especially if you're going to have exposure to lots of other animals. Not to mention, you don't know what other people are doing you don't know if the other person's vaccinating their horses or not. So you want to do all that you can to minimize disease transmission. So, bringing your own feed buckets, water buckets, cleaning in between, just good hygiene. I mean, basically all this kind of stuff boils down to common sense, really.
I was going to say, and if I understood you correctly, Dr. Luna, probably no concern of transmission of disease from animal to people around here. That's very rare, number one. I mean, for the most part. I mean, that could probably happen, but I mean, that from what I understand,
sure,
for the most part,
absolutely.
in general. But the hygiene aspect, washing your hands and doing the things the practices that we do daily of good hand washing, and those kind of things. That's the best way to just stay away from all this stuff.
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
And, you see on the things with the news about the face masks, and those aren't doing any good whatsoever. Yeah. The best thing you can do is proper hand hygiene. Of course, 20 seconds minimal. You're not going in there just splashing your hands with water and walking out. So you really want to do a good job at washing those hands, disinfecting your doorknobs, things like that. Just common sense stuff. And we're all going to be fine. Spring's coming, summer's coming, and the hope is that once this warmer weather occurs, that obviously disease transmission will kind of peter out.
Well, and with that, when you talk about spring and that sort of thing coming, that also, here comes the bees, and here comes a lot of those things that, we can find out unexpectedly that our pet is allergic to.
That's right. Absolutely.
And no matter how big the animal, they can still be allergic to those things.
Absolutely. We probably see on the dog and cat side, I may see a dozen, and maybe a little bit more of bee stings, wasp stings, things like that. Their faces swell up, maybe some difficulty breathing. For the most part, they're fairly easy to treat, and rarely in horses I'll see that. Usually those guys tend to break out in hives, but for the most part it's easily manageable with an antihistamine. Sometimes we have to do an injectable steroid, but we do see a lot of that around here.
What about snake bite this time of year when they start coming in? Yeah.
We see quite a few of those. Mm-hmm. In horses, we usually see those type of snake bites on the legs, of course, because they're close to the ground. For the most part, horses are such large animals. Snake bites, we're kind of treating them more as potential for infection. Whereas dogs and cats, usually you're seeing them on the face because these guys are kind of playing with them or not. Most snake bites are defensive strikes, meaning that a lot of times there's no envenomation involved if it happens to be a poisonous species. And we're treating those guys, with antibiotics, pain medications, fluids if they're in shock. But all of that stuff, when the weather gets warm, creatures start coming out. So you want to be as prepared as you can. You just pay attention as much as you can out there. That's for sure.
Well, and it's one of those things too, where I might have heard of somebody doing, if your dog or whatever, if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you happen to have a few things in your saddlebag and they get bit, what do you do? I mean, do you give them a Benadryl? I've even heard Benadryl.
So Benadryl is kind of our go-to antihistamine when it comes to things like this. Obviously, in a dog or cat, you could do that. For a horse, you're not going to have enough Benadryl,
right.
to give. But as far as stuff to keep on you, Benadryl would certainly be okay if you had a small animal. Obviously, a first aid kit. Usually, the people that are in these situations are more likely to get hurt than your animals. So, just a basic first aid kit, Band-Aids, ibuprofen, aspirin, things like that. Because especially when you're out on the trail, you don't know how long it's going to take to get back to civilization.
Oh, it never happens when you're close to the trailer.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying.
So, you don't know what's going to happen out there. But the more you can be prepared for yourself, with those type of things, the better you're going to put yourself, better position you're going to be in should something arise.
And water, that's important. And I think it's surprising how many people don't take water with them when they get out.
Sure. I mean, you hear stories all the time of people going hiking out in the wilderness, bringing a 16-ounce bottle of water, they get stuck somewhere, break a leg. I mean, and, we forget what a basic and easy, accessible nutrient that water is, but when you don't have it, you're not going to live very long. So you always want to be sure you've got plenty of water out there. Absolutely.
Oh, we mentioned about getting there, and I said something about Coggins a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not only important because a lot of these places you can't camp and you can't go pretty well anywhere with a horse without a Coggins paper. But it goes beyond that though too. If you're in a trailer or you're transporting an animal and you go across state lines, there's health papers that need to come along with that too, right?
That's correct. And even in the state of Kentucky, you can get what they call an intrastate health cert, meaning that if you go to any show, any trail ride within the state of Kentucky and you're a Kentucky resident, you can get a health paper and that will take you anywhere within the state. But almost every single state that I'm aware of, I don't know of none that do not, will require some sort of health paper, whether it's a dog, cat, horse, goats, cattle, whatever it is, they want some sort of documentation stating that animal is free of disease and isn't going to transmit it within their state borders. And some states actually require, Illinois, Montana actually require a step further. Whenever we write a health certificate, we actually have to call their veterinary departments in that state at their state veterinarian and get a permit number, so there's an actual number identified with that animal in the certificate. So that's another way that they keep further tabs on animal entry within those particular states.
Well, and I think it's good too, because especially for the animals themselves, because you don't. It's a lot harder to fake those things now than what it used to be.
It is, but it still happens. I mean, even as recently as last year, you'll still have people, trying to falsify Coggins. Same thing with health papers. Ultimately, you may do those things for years and not get caught, but for the common good, those are basic, easy things you need to do, because the last thing you want to do is, be falsifying some medical records, health papers, Coggins papers, and then be caught in the middle of an outbreak of something for which you're going to face pretty stiff penalties.
Well, outside of an accident, springtime, what do we need to be immunizing for? What are the things that we really need to be doing to prepare for the summer and really, I guess, even spring, the whole year? I mean, what is it time for?
So kind of this time of year for horses, there's basic vaccines. A minimal of you need are rabies, Eastern, Western, tetanus, and West Nile. Those are the basic things you're going to be vaccinating for. We recommend at least 2-3 time a year deworming for your guys, and a lot of this is going to be dependent on each particular horse, but those are the basics. If you're doing a lot of trail riding, a lot of show riding, other than those 5 basic core vaccines, as we call them in the horse world, you're going to want to be vaccinating for rhinopneumonitis, as well as equine influenza, because those things are obviously going to be showing up in areas where there's a high density of other horses, and of course they're easily transmittable. But those are going to be the basic things you can do. Obviously, hoof care is certainly important, especially out on the trail rides. So to be sure you're keeping your horse's feet properly trimmed and properly shod. But from a vaccine perspective, if you're doing those things, and strangles is another one I failed to mention, you're doing about all you can do as far as minimizing your risk and as minimizing other people's risk of picking up things from your horse as well.
Well, even on that wormer, are we talking about it? What is there really a difference between the paste and the pellets, other than it's so much easier to give when you can just pour it in the feed?
Yeah, you want to, in I guess the paradigm of equine deworming has changed since the 1960s till now. We're actually recommending less deworming. You want to use a paste. Daily dewormers are best avoided because we're creating so much resistant parasites in the worm population. You really see it in goats, in sheep, cattle. We're starting to see it in horses where certain dewormers don't work. You really want to stick to the paste. You want to be rotating the dewormers that you're using, and you really want to be doing what we call fecal egg count. So actually getting stool samples, sending those off to the lab for, I think it's $10, very, very cheap, actually quantifying and determining the type of species of worms that you have, and then deworming based off of that information instead of just doing blanket deworming where you don't know and you're probably contributing to the resistant problem that we're seeing.
And of course, spring's a great time to do that before the temps get way...
Oh, absolutely. Springtime is perfect. March, April, May, and that can kind of give you a springboard for days to come. If you get a fecal egg sample and you're seeing lots of eggs, you deworm, you can repeat that same test in a couple of weeks, and it will actually tell you if you have resistance to that particular type of dewormer on your farm or in that particular horse that you used it on earlier. So there's a lot of information that you can get very cheaply from just doing a $10 fecal test.
And we're still pouring it on our cows, right? That's okay?
For the most part, yes. Sidectin is the kind of the pour on that is probably our biggest seller that we have. And it's getting to be about the only thing that works in the cattle world. Goats are of probably the species that we see the most resistant parasites in those guys. And we're actually using the pour-on cattle formulations and giving that orally to goats to try to help with those guys. But the best thing that we can kind of do to head this thing off at the pass is to use it judiciously, pasture management, trying to avoid daily dewormings, and trying to create a population of parasites that are susceptible to the drugs that we have, because eventually the day may come when nothing that we have is going to work, and those are going to be tough days ahead.
Well, and I mentioned the pour-on, not for horses.
No. Yeah, you want to be using a paste.
I want to clarify that.
In the older days, when I was a kid, we would take our horses to the vet. They'd pull a Coggins, do vaccines. Right. They'd get tube deworming, where they pass the tube down the nose to the throat, and they would pour in this liquid that I didn't know what it was. They don't even do that anymore. The equine dewormer paste are much superior to that. I don't know of anybody that's doing tube dewormings. and they definitely don't work any better than the pastes. So the pastes are definitely what you want to be doing. Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you what, we appreciate that because there's a lot of that stuff that's changing over the years. And even the techniques of worming and what we use. It's ivermectin, or it's a 5-way, or it's a poron, or it's a daily. And I've known some people that were scared of the daily, and I've also heard of people that would swear by it, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're going to find arguments for both everywhere you go. There's always going to be people for, be people against, but from the information that I know, best practices, you want to stick with a paste dewormer. Try to avoid the daily dewormers. Good pasture management, good quality hay, doing fecal egg counts, and really relying more on your management as much as you can. That way you can use less of a drug.
Well, and I'll tell you, even though that you can probably get your hands on some of these shots and that sort of thing, it's worth it to bring them in, to let you get your eyes on them, give them a good once-over while you're drawing for the Coggins and doing those things.
Absolutely, because you don't want to be vaccinating horses that that might have significant nasal discharge. Maybe they're running a low-grade fever you're not aware of. Plus, you don't know. If you're buying vaccines for us, I can guarantee you from the manufacturer to our refrigerator door that it's been properly stored. And you may not always know that if you're getting vaccines from a third party. The last thing you want to be doing is using a vaccine that's set outside for 24 hours, gets put back in the fridge. Temperature control is very, very important to be sure that the vaccine that you're using actually works. And when you're buying vaccines through reputable sources, they can kind of go through that chain of custody from manufacturer to distributor to us, the veterinarian, and then from us to your animal.
Well, it's absolutely worth it. And everybody calm down about everything, right?
Well, absolutely. You always want to stay calm. Panic does us no good. But of course, being informed, and don't believe everything that you read on the internet either. You got to vet the sources that are out there, because you're going to find arguments for and against whatever the topic may be out there. So, try to make informed decisions. Obviously, you want to consult with people that we perceive as the experts, whether that's veterinarians, human doctors, whoever. But just be careful of the information that's out there. A lot of disinformation causes more trouble than sometimes what we're prepared to handle.
Well, we can do more harm than good sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
By doing that. And it's not that we're in, bad intentioned. We're in good intention, but it can turn bad real quick.
Absolutely.
Hey, give them a phone number to reach you at.
You guys can reach us at the Vet Clinic, 270-365-9822.
And quickly, Dr. Luna, before you get out of here, you're currently practicing on Masonic Drive. There's going to be a move out to the Princeton Vet Clinic, the old Princeton Vet Clinic at some point. Give us a quick update on that.
That's correct, yes. So for those of you who don't know, I purchased Dr. Rogers' vet practice March of last year, so we're about 1 year in on that. And then a couple of months later, Dr. Black retired, and so I purchased his facility as well. Currently in the process of remodeling Dr. Black's facility. It's at 51 Old Fredonia Road. We're probably about 80 to 85% done. I'm hoping that we'll complete the move out there by probably May.
Oh, wow.
In April, May, June, somewhere along those lines. I'm hoping well before the summer.
I heard by fall calving season.
Well, yeah. If it's fall and we're still not in, then we may be, talking about some other things. But yeah, we hope to be out there, obviously sooner rather than later. Obviously, we're excited about it. We're excited about our clients, our customers coming to our new facility. Obviously, we'll be an announcement when that comes. We'll be giving some tours, things like that. But we're anxious to get there in order to serve the needs of Caldwell County and their pet population.
Thank you so much. And I will tell you, this guy will come out in the middle of the night on a weekend if your horse needs it. He did it for mine. And
yes,
hey,
we do.
You learn so much, and we do appreciate it, though, because there's a lot of trust that goes along with that.
That is what we're here for.
So to give them that phone number again.
270-365-9822, Luna Veterinary Services on Masonic Drive.
And you've got some other people, a nice young lady that works with you, right?
Yes, Dr. Catherine Williams. Her husband is actually from this area. They were living in Missouri. She moved back to the area about a year ago. She's been with us for about a year in a part-time capacity. She is back with us. She was on maternity leave for a bit over the fall and winter, but she's back. So we have Dr. Williams. Dr. Rogers is still around. Obviously, he has a long and loyal clientele. He's still practicing in a full-time capacity. He hasn't left. So yeah, we've got three great veterinarians, what I like to think are great veterinarians, and we're there to do whatever we can for you guys.
I love it. Thank you so much. We really
You're very
appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Ty, I don't think that you can get more comprehensive care right there. And that phone number, when you do call it, they actually answer your question. And we've got some gorgeous-looking kids sitting out there on the other side of the window. They snuck in on us, so we're going to have them up next. 1580 103.3 WPKY.
All right, everyone, let's get this party started.
Yeah! McDonald's Filet-O-Fish sandwiches for everyone. Give me back the Filet-O-Fish. Give me that fish. Give me back the
Hey, what kind of music is this? Wait, is that a fish at the DJ booth?
Well, it is a Filet-O-Fish party.
Mix and match a Filet-O-Fish, Big Mac, Quarter Pounder with cheese, or a 10-piece Chicken McNuggets. Any two for $5. Price and participation may vary for a limited time. Single item at regular price.
Christian Care Center of Catawba announces Jita Shabda, their new medical director, and that they now have on-site physician services specializing in internal medicine and pulmonary, Monday through Friday during regular business hours. Christian Care Center of Catawba is Joint Commission certification with 57 private rooms, all covered by private pay, insurance, Medicare, or Medicaid. They also have a designated area for smokers. It's the next best thing to home. Call Christian Care Center of Catawba, nurturing body, mind, and spirit.
Need cash fast? Get the money you need. Call ABC Finance now.
Life doesn't always go as planned, and sometimes money is tight when you need it most.
At ABC Finance, we're here for you.
Hi, this is Jody Lamb at the Princeton ABC Finance location.
And this is Todd Morris at the Hopkinsville location.
And we can help you in a pinch, even if your credit is less than perfect.
At ABC Finance, we provide loans up to $15,000 and the individual attention to help you get your finances back on track.
We are locally owned and staffed, and decisions are made quickly, usually within an hour.
No appointment is needed. Walk-ins are welcome.
You can even give us a call, and we will take your application over the phone.
Or you can apply online at abcfinanceonline.com.
And like ABC Finance on Facebook.
ABC Finance in Hopkinsville on Fort Campbell Boulevard next to O'Charlie's and in Princeton Plaza. ABC Finance.
All loans subject to normal credit approval.
Time to do weather forecast, and it's a gorgeous day out there. Sunshine, clear skies, partly cloudy today for a high of 62 expected. Cloudy overnight tonight, low down to 38 with, guess what, Tess? Sunshine returning tomorrow for a high of 61. And then sunny for Friday as well. A little bit colder than today, a high of 49. And then Saturday, sunshine. Hear the trend, 54 on Saturday. Right now, clear skies in Princeton and 54 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique.
1580 103.3 WPKY. Tess and Ty and Coffee Talk this morning, and we've got a studio full, Ty, and I love that. Who do we have in here? I know Scott is sitting over there ready and waiting, but who have we got, Ty?
We've got Beta Club advisor Chelsey Ardrey. This is the Beta Club out at the middle school, and just a bunch of great kids here. Good morning, everybody.
Okay, tell them who you are. Start right over here.
My name is Scott Courtner.
And what grade are you in?
I'm in 6th grade.
Okay.
I'm Jackie Farmer, and I'm in 6th grade. I'm Landy Bashir, and I'm in 6th grade. I'm Adley Lewis, and I'm in 6th grade.
I'm Aubrey Lancaster, and I'm in 6th grade.
I'm Noah Bailey, and I'm in 6th grade.
I'm Daniel Laurent, and I'm in 7th grade.
The voices get deeper as they go down the road, don't they?
I didn't realize I just brought 6th graders.
So what have you guys been up to? You've been up to some pretty big things, right? Tell us about it, Scott.
We went to a convention in January, and
at
Louisville, and we had 2 winners. And we had the robotics team and Jackie.
A robotics team. Now, who's on the robotics team?
We are. We are.
Okay, ladies, tell me what in the world is a robotics team?
We designed a robot, and it went through an obstacle course.
So it is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
You made a robot.
Yes. There was
in the 6th grade. They're building robots.
Yeah.
There was 1 7th grader.
And then they had 8 total students that were on.
Okay, where'd you learn to build a robot?
Miss Smith taught us the way. It's just a Lego robot, so it's very simple, and it showed us how to do it.
Does it move on its own?
Yeah, we had
that's not simple.
we had a program.
Just saying.
We had to program it on the Lego computer.
My goodness.
Program. Miss Smith, the 7th grade science teacher, and she's a Beta Club sponsor, helped that group. So
That is impressive, though. So what else did we do other than robotics?
I placed 5th for language arts.
Again, remind them your name.
Jackie Farmer.
Okay. And you did what now?
I did a language arts test, and I placed 5th out of all the
the
Wow.
6th graders that competed in that competition, yeah.
And let's just remind everybody that hasn't been to school for a while like me, language arts is where you really break down sentence and vocabulary and English and all those good things, participles and all of those words, and you really break them down, right?
Yeah, our robotics team placed 3rd overall, and Jackie placed 5th overall. So those were our big winners. But we did really good for it was our first time, to my knowledge, of ever going to convention. We took Scott and Noah were both on our engineering team.
Noah.
So tell them what you.
Tell me
all
about
did.
the engineering.
On engineering, we had this supply of. We had a bunch of supplies, and we fit them into a 10-gallon tub, and then we brought them to convention, and we had 45 minutes to build a roller coaster out of all the supplies.
They built a roller
They
coaster?
built a
Like, did it
roller-
work? At the end of it? Did it work?
It almost did, but one of the curves, it got stuck on the curves at the very end.
Story of my life, Scott. I'm telling you right there.
But it was really good. They did a really good job. I was super proud. We worked very hard every day after school. After Christmas, we were there every day after school working, and they would practice 45 minutes running the clock, putting it together. They had to communicate and talk with each other. It was really cool. We had some more students. Daniel, he competed in a test. Which one did you take? Quiz Bowl. Oh yeah, he was in the Quiz Bowl with 3 other students.
Well, tell me about Quiz Bowl, Daniel.
So Quiz Bowl is basically you take a test, and then if you qualify, you go to like this quick round where it's like basically everything. And academic team is like quick recall.
Right.
So basically, your team has buzzers. You have a leader who will argue questions if needed, and basically that's just how it works. And I think we didn't get to go to the second round, but I think we were pretty close to going to that second round, but maybe.
So, maybe next year. We're definitely gonna try again.
And you're talking about a wide range of subjects, right?
Yeah, as far as
basically
I know,
everything.
Yeah. We took 50 students. Several competed in like art projects. We had a student that built a wooden bench, and we took that.
In middle school?
Mm-hmm. We had, what were some other projects? They had some photography.
They built like planets. They had.
That was a 3D design. They built like a 3D design.
We had a actual like subject test, so like actual test for like just science or just social studies
Or just language arts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or just language arts. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had a big time. It was good. It was a good learning experience.
I'll tell you, in middle school back then, I think I was using glue sticks and coloring crayons back then. I wasn't building roller coasters and robots.
No. Of course, where was the convention?
It was in Louisville.
It was in Louisville.
That was at the convention center.
So what's next?
Well, we've been doing service projects, and the robotics and I both got invited to nationals. We're not completely sure if we're going to be there, but the
nationals are in Texas, so
Fort Worth.
we don't know if we're going to be able to make it, but we might be able to.
But wow,
Yeah.
that is so cool even to be invited.
Yeah, so we're working on that. We're gonna ask for some permission and see if we can get some money and see if we can get them there maybe.
Well, how about, isn't there something fun going on, some kind of fundraiser or slime that's involved with anything going on?
Tell them what this week is.
We are doing a animal pet drive.
For what? What's this week?
Celebrate Beta.
Celebrate Beta Week. Yeah.
It's National Beta Week, so they have an animal supply drive going on. So, Daniel, what's some of the things they can bring?
Like dog food, dog treats, bleach. This is like stuff that the animal shelters actually asked
that they
for.
needed.
So that kind of stuff, just stuff that dogs and cats and whatever else is there might need.
And also toys.
Yeah, that too. Forgot about that.
And that's split up per grade, right? Per grade
Well,
level?
each grade is trying to bring in the most, and whoever brings the most gets to slime Mr. Smiley and Miss White. And if it, depending on who the winner is, as beta sponsor, there's a great.
Mr. Smiley, they become Mr. Slimy.
You can't get much better than that.
Oh,
in middle school, if somebody said, you know what, you can slime the principal, I'd have bought every can of dog food from here to China.
Mr. Slimy from here on out.
I think that's perfect. Good morning, Mr. Slimy. How about that? I'll do it so you guys won't get in trouble. How about that?
We better be quiet over here, right?
Cool. I'll tell you what, though. What's next after this?
Well, we're still raising money. Lainey, tell them how we're trying to raise money.
We're selling license plate. They're $15 a piece, and we just have 100 more to sell. So we're trying to sell those.
Just 100 more. So that's not bad. How much are they?
$15.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
we can do that.
They're Caldwell County Tiger Nation, and it's got a tiger and the CC, so they're really cute. Even if you don't use them on your car, you can put them somewhere, or just buy one to help us out, right?
Tell us how we can get them.
Yeah.
You go ahead. You know.
You can just buy them from a beta sponsor or order them from one of the beta members.
If you order them, we get 30 Beta Club points. Or hours.
Minutes.
Oh, wow.
Hey, I'll tell you what, we're proud of all of you. We really are.
Thank
and
you.
it's in what week is it?
Celebrate Beta.
Explain what Beta is real quick. What does that stand for?
It's a service academic thing that lots of people do. It's sort of like honor. Like you have to have an 85% average or higher to be in it.
So that's why you're so smart. See, It's coming together,
Good
Ty.
grades pay off.
There you go.
Yeah.
And hard work. Well, thank you so much for you guys being here. Thank you for bringing them.
Thank you for having
We
us.
sure do appreciate
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, we love that. And again, let's tell everybody your name one more time.
I'm Scott Courtner, and I'm in 6th grade.
I'm Jackie Farmer, and I'm in 6th grade.
I'm Landy Bashir, and I'm in 6th grade. I'm Adley Lewis, and I'm in 6th grade. I'm Aubrey Lancaster, and I'm in 6th grade.
I'm Noah Bailey, and I'm in 6th grade.
And I'm Daniel Laurent, and I'm in 7th grade.
Well, we're Tess and Ty in 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Joe Biden comes out of Super Tuesday now ahead of Bernie Sanders for the Democratic Party presidential nomination, winning in at least 9 states, including Texas, Massachusetts, and Minnesota, states where Sanders had been ahead in the polls not long ago. Biden says at a rally in Los Angeles,
You want a nominee who's a Democrat, a lifelong Democrat.